Hey everybody out there, this is Christian here. I'm doing a deck profile. This time it's not my 6 AMs, it's going to be my Evilswarms that I built. And this is version 1.0, so there's going to be changes, there's going to be modifications. But as I keep doing it, I would appreciate your comments. I always do, and I would love to hear what you have to say about it. See where I stand, because like I said, I know I need work, and I know I'm going to keep going. Especially with the new Tachyon set that dropped out, there's a good support card out there for that I don't have. But for now, this is what I got. So we're going to be starting with the extra deck. With one Photon Pauper Operative, 2 level 4s, detach material, flip a face down defense position monster, face up, and it loses 600 attack. Good little staple there. Next up, we have the Heraldry, number 69 Heraldry Crest. I'm sorry, I can't say names. 3 level 4s, pretty much when he's special summoned, it negates all the effects of XZ monsters out on the field. And once per turn, he can take the original name and ability of an XZ monster out on the field. So good for XZ heavy decks, kind of help get rid of stuff, all that good jazz. Next up, we have a number 39 Utopia and C39 Utopia Ray. I play tested it with him in there a little bit. He was kind of helpful. All that good stuff. He was a better stall card. He was better for running stuff over. Like I said, they're not for sure yet, but they were helpful at the particular moment. Next up, we have Maestroke the Symphony Djinn. Your Book of Moon or your Stall Shield. Real easy to get into this deck as everybody's level 4s. All that good stuff. Next up, we have Evilswarm Ouroboros. Pretty much, he can only use one of his effects. He can use all 3 of his effects one time while this card's on the field. So if you can't use the same effect 3 times, you have to use all 3. All that good stuff. But it's pretty much target 1 card and destroy, target 1 hand and 1 card in your opponent's hand, send it to the graveyard, and target 1 card in the graveyard and remove. Pretty powerful. I'm running him at 1 for now. Like I said, there's still many play testing that needs to be done. But for now, he's at 1. Next up is, I only have 1 Evilswarm Ophion. I do plan on running him at 3, but since I only have 1, there's only 1 in here. Pretty much 2 level 4s. Pitch of material, you can go get an Infestation Spell or Trap, add it to hand, and while he has materials, level 5 or higher monsters cannot be special summoned. Next up is Thanatos, Evilswarm Thanatos. 2350, 2 level 4s. He says, once per turn during either player's turn, remove a material and he's unaffected by monster effects. Could be helpful. Like I said, still in the play testing phases, but I found out he could be pretty useful. Evilswarm Nightmare. Nightmare, he acts like a Book of Moon for special summoned monsters. 2 level 4s, pitch a material when a monster special summoned, and it's flipped into face down defense position. So it's pretty helpful. Next up, I'm running 3 Evilswarm Bahumets. Bahumet is a big eye for the Evilswarms. It just takes 2 Evilswarms, pitch a material, target a monster, pitch a Evilswarm monster card in your hand to the graveyard, and you can take control of that monster. It's pretty helpful. And for now, the final card, this only adds up to 13. I apologize, like I said, I still need work, is the Daigusto Emerald to help recycle cards like Caster and all that good stuff. Next up, we have our spell section. This still needs a lot of work. I'm still working on it, but this is what I have for now. Right now, I have a Shrink, just to help climb stuff. You know, it decreases the attack of 1 monster on the field in half. So you set it, wait for him to attack, shrink it, run over whatever monster he's got. Next up, I have 1 reinforcement of the army. This is to go grab Caster. And Caster says when he's normal summoned, you can get an additional normal summon of an Evilswarm monster. So use this, go grab him, and then make fun plays. Next off, we have, your meta trio here, the Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, good control. I feel they're pretty useful. Next up, I'm running the Dual MST to help get rid of back row on top of the Heavy Storm, just in case. And then finally, I'm running 3 Infestation Pandemics, which pretty much say that all face-up Evilswarm monsters are unaffected by spells and traps this turn. So it's kind of like a duress specifically for Evilswarms. I've seen people run triple duress and triple pandemic, but I feel that's a little too much, especially right now with so much unexplored territory within the Evilswarms and with more stuff to come, like Krekion, which has dropped in Tachyon, and all that good stuff. That's what you're looking at so far. Next up, we have traps. And as I said, as I go through, you're going to notice some of my infestation trap cards are a little off. They're just filler for now because I don't have enough other stuff. And like I said, a lot more revamping needs to go through. But this is what I got. I have your Solemn Twins, Judgment and Warning. Everybody knows what those does. Half your life points to negate something. 2,000 life points to negate a special summon or summon of a monster. Next up, I'm running the Dual Mirror Force. Pretty nifty trap card, I think. 1D Prison. I'm also, on top of that, I'm also running the Phoenix Wing Blast. Mainly because even if there's something on the field I don't like that I can't climb, I can easily Wind Blast it, send a card to the graveyard, and then go overcome by swarming the field with my Evilswarms and Caster. Plus, say I don't get Ophion out fast enough, bam, get rid of that level 8 stick that is beating me in the face and work with that from there. Next up, I'm only running the 1 Infestation Terminus, which is target 1 Evilswarm monster you control and 2 cards your opponent controls, and banish the first target, and if you do, return the second targets to hand. So yeah, it's kind of neat. After that, we have Infestation Infection, which is you could target 1 Evilswarm monster you control out on the field or in their hand, add it to your deck, shuffle, or I'm sorry, no. Once per turn, you can shuffle 1 Evilswarm monster from your hand or face up on your side of the field into the main deck, add 1 Evilswarm monster from your deck to your hand. So, like I said, I'm running 3 just to kind of fill and to be able to draw it once I explore a little bit more and get some more extra cards for this. Some more staples to fill in. Some of these might come out, but for now I'm running it at 3. And finally we're going into the monsters, so we're going to have some fun. I'm running the Dual Rescue Rabbit for the target the Heliotropes. 2 just so I can actually have a better chance of drawing into it. Plus with the triple Heliotrope, that card makes this deck pretty good to turn 1 Ophion, all that good stuff. Next up, we have Evilswarm Thunderbird. This is running at triple capacity, because this card is actually really good. What happens is, whenever a card effect goes off, you can remove this card, and on your next standby phase, it comes back at 1950. The card says it gains 300 attack, but the 300 doesn't stack. So it just keeps coming back at the 1950 after the first time. But this will help. This will make sure that no matter what next turn, you're always going to have a monster to overlay into with stuff like Dark Hole and all that good stuff. So that's pretty helpful. I feel that's pretty good. I feel that's one of the main monsters that makes this deck pretty broken. Next up, I'm running 2 Evilswarm O-Lantern. This is specifically a support card to help get rid of stuff out on the field. Because he says, tribute this monster and destroy 1 monster card on the field. So he's specifically support at this point until I can find something better. Plus he's a level 4 that I can overlay into. I could special summon with Caster. All that good jazz. Next is triple Mandragora. Mandragora is pretty much the Cyber Dragon for Evilswarms, but her wording says that as long as your opponent controls more monsters than you do, so if your opponent has 2 monsters and you have 1, you can special summon her and overlay into her very easily. I'm running the 1 Evilswarm Kitos. He's just like O-Lantern, except he targets the back row instead of the monsters. Like I said, good, just a little extra support. Plus, I could overlay with it, make it better. And like I said, I'm still exploring and trying to make get more cards for this. Next up, we have our vanillas, the heliotropes, to target with the rescue rabbits. Like I said, quick turn 1 Ophion, plus they're 1850 or 1950, so they're good beat sticks. Next up, I run 2 Golem. Mainly, like I said, this is more support for now because it's just what I have, but pretty much I could go Caster's effect, sacrifice him to summon the Golem, and Golem says I can destroy 1 level 5 or higher non-dark monster on the field. And I feel that's pretty helpful. Plus, it opens, if I find cards that are good 5s for this deck, I can use him to overlay into the 5s. And plus, like I said, extra support. Chaos Dragons, are ridiculous. The only one you wouldn't be able to get rid of is the D-Metal and the Dark Flare. But still, that is... And for other decks, too, let's talk... I don't know. Anything that special summons, Mermails, all that good stuff. Good card against the Mermails, I feel. Next up, we have the Triple Cataster. And P pretty much says when he's normal summoned, or during the turn that this card was normal summoned, you could normal summon 1 Evilswarm monster in addition to your normal or set. And you can only activate this effect once per turn. So you can't go, Caster's going to normal summon Caster, and then you can't use this Caster's effect on that one. So pretty much with Caster, you have to have another target in hand. Like I said, you can go Caster, Sack, Golem, and cause shenanigans there. Or use him to overlay into Ophion or whatever you got to do. And the final card I'm throwing into this mix is Caius, the Shadow Monarch. More support, pop something on the field. I don't see a real downside to that. I feel it's pretty good. So, there's your monster lineup. Real fast. And that's what I got so far for the Evilswarms. I do appreciate comments, guys. We thrive off comments. And I like to see what you think of the deck. As I stated earlier, it still needs a lot of work. I'm still working on it. Just because of what I have available to me at this point. So, I'm going to keep working on it. And as I playtest it more and more, I'm going to find the kinks in this and go, alright, now it's time to show you all version 2.0 and all that good stuff. So, comment away, let me hear what you have to say. Also, please subscribe. I'm not going to bend your arm. We would appreciate it. And have a wonderful day. See you guys later.